Here we go. Here we go. Who's here? Waldrop, Kapla, Mr. Bennett, Mr. Pinnell. Can't wait to see the big surprise completed shop stool. I have already, unfortunately, I can't even show it to you because I completed it and sold it already. I completed it and sold it for multiple thousands of dollars to a very wealthy individual in my community who fell in love with it. And no. It's just it's no stool. It's off the list. Shop stool is off the list because it's no longer going to be a shop stool. You know, the shop stool has now become future side table project. So shop stool doesn't exist as a project anymore. So the shop stool project got taken off the list. Come on. Thousands of dollars as opposed to not being able to share. Yeah. 70 cents from YouTube, thousands of dollars to sell it. Like I wouldn't do both. Come on. How you doing, Joel? I haven't seen you for a bit. Oh, the jewelry box video is doing very well. No thanks to the filming, though. No thanks to Mr. Bennett's hard work. All this guy. It's okay, Mike. We understand about the show. Never take on a challenge that you can't complete without a lot of help. Not sure if that's a burn or not. Never take on a challenge you can't complete without a lot of help. Feels like a burn. Maybe not. Chuck Eilerston. Chuck Eilerston from Chicago. Welcome aboard. Don't be weird. Well, be weird, but be weird in the right way. Welcome to the show. Happy to have you as long as you're not uncomfortably weird. You can be a normal amount of weird. We're all a little bit weird. It's been a minute. Had a baby. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. I assume that you didn't. I don't know. But watched the video a couple of times and took a third watch before I noticed there was a jewelry box being made in the background. That's right, because of all of the beautiful cinematic. What was the? I love that all the comments started coming in on it, and they were all burn up against Bennett. Well, they were all like little jabs about the filming of it. Like they're like, "Oh my God, what wonderful cinematography!" And just like all the comments were about like the video production side of things as opposed to the actual project itself. It was awesome. It was funny. My favorite was Eric Habakabaka. He's like, who's your new camera person? He has such amazing technical knowledge of cinematic techniques, and it was good. I had a good time. Well, not you. That was my point. Your wife had actually. Congratulations. Was it your first child? Congratulations on the birth of your whatever. Small human. You're telling me those weren't all legitimate compliments? No, they absolutely were. Everybody was very, very impressed. I'm sure that's what they were saying. They were being very genuine in their compliments about your directorial debut. It is, let's not give Mr. Bennett a big head about things, but I will say that at least partially because of his efforts, it is my favorite project video that I've ever done in terms of the filmatic nature of it, in terms of the dynamic nature of the storytelling, I guess. There's no words, but step by step by step by step, I think it was, I was very happy with the final result. We got many shots. 230 some odd clips that we put together into that video. Many of them didn't make it. No, most of them made it. There are a lot of little clips of video in that. If nothing else, it was fun to be back behind camera after a lot of years. It was also fun. It was fun to have you in the shop. Well, it was like, it was really nice to be able to focus on doing the work and not so much on the camera, but it was also fun to like collaborate with somebody on like, what do we want this shot to be? And we had a lot of similar ideas. He had some ideas, I had some ideas, and just like bouncing things around and being able to keep working while I was bouncing ideas back and forth. It was a cool experience. I would do again. Chris Walters, how's it going with you too? Also, I'm well. How are you? It's going okay. It's going okay. A fairly not a rough day at work, but it was fairly go all day. I did want to turn something tonight. I had all the intentions of turning something tonight, but I was working a little harder than I wanted to today to be working some more tonight. Let's put it that way. Waldrop says, we're glad you assisted, Bennett. He finally released a new video. Next project, Beaverchuck video. Next, it's not a project, but the next video is already almost finished in terms of its editing. It is the unboxing and setup and trying of the Wolverine sharpening jig system on my grinder. I am almost done the edit of that. I need to film a little future mic imposition. It's a little bit, because while I was doing it, I was like, if this becomes a problem, it's Future Mike's problem. And then Future Mike has to come in and say, like, Future Mike here, it was a problem. But that's it. And then it's ready to go. Did Bennett film that? No. Yes. No, he absolutely did. Let's say that he did, if that helps. Suspecting you're not wanting to tick off a potential sponsor, so not dogging Beaver. Honestly, the Viver video is going to come out once I get a resolution from them. I just haven't put in the effort to get a resolution from them. Once I get a resolution and I can do the video on how everything went, I don't want a Viver sponsorship. Don't. So I'm not going to tick off a potential sponsor. It'd be like saying, like, do you want to tick off Verathane? Because they may sponsor you. I don't want a Verathane sponsor. So yeah, happy to tick them off. When is the next Bennett video? Well, it would have to be after it's filmed. We have not filmed another project, so I can't use all of Mike Bennett's time off to be over here filming things. We'll plan another one. I expect, we haven't discussed what the next project is, but I suspect that he would also be happy to come back and do another one. But I'm not going to say, hey, Mike, you need to be here every Monday because we need to keep chunking out these project videos. We'll talk about what the next possible opportunity is for him to come over and film things. If he wants to. He seemed to have a good time. He's here. This video is sponsored by Harbor Freight. I doubt it. I don't have any Harbor Freights. We don't have Harbor Freight here, so it would be weird for them to sponsor me. It's so effing cold in your shop right now. Yeah, now it's okay. It was cold over a couple of the editing sessions. We did to get that blast of cold and like being in here just in front of the computer. It wasn't cold while filming. It was cold editing. We'll get something in the spring. We'll have him in when he's not going to be cold. Could use stills from the video for the next Mike's Wooden Things and Stuff calendar. I would want the resolution to be higher on stills in a calendar. And I think we already established that the next calendar needs to be a swimsuit edition. So got some rough turned bowls from another wood turner that didn't want to finish them. So he asked me if I could finish them for him. Oh, sweet. Half the work's already done. Right on. Use the 4K camera next time. Yeah, I need to figure out what's going on with that camera in terms of its actual recording of the footage. It might be the memory cards that I've used in it that don't like what's going on, but it's like it's creating corrupted files like consistently. So maybe I'll get a couple of new memory cards and we'll do it in 4K swimsuit episode. That'll be good. That one I don't know that we can put on YouTube. That one might be a different platform. I'm not filming a swimsuit episode. Okay, you heard it here. Sorry, guys. Speaking of calendar, still waiting for the OnlyFans drop. Well, I would need to make one of those. I can make one right now. I don't have an OnlyFans. So if you're looking for me over there, you're out of luck. I do have a Patreon page, patreon.com/wooden things and stuff. Link down there in the description. And if you, let's be honest, if you pay me enough money over there, maybe I send you a private video. It's the same thing. It's the same thing as OnlyFans. You pay me to make content, whatever. They'll send you fart water. I don't care. Don't buy Viver memory cards. Okay. Beer. I won't buy Viver memory cards. I won't buy Viver anything ever again. I am as likely to buy another Viver product as I am to buy another Verathane product. I didn't see that option in your Patreon levels. It's super secret option E. No, it's super secret option double D. No, that doesn't work. I'm not that, like, it would have been a funnier joke. I could have figured out a funnier joke if I would have taken the time, but could make it an option. It'd be the tier, call it the OnlyFans tier, where for X number of dollars a month, you get a personalized secret option Big D. Oh, see, that's a better joke. Good work. I actually like Verathane for Pine. Okay. I mean, everybody can like what they like. I've never used a Verathane product that I liked the results with. That's all. So I stopped. I stopped trying after, I don't know, too many tries. So why I don't buy food at Tim Hortons anymore. I gave them too many tries and was presented with disappointment. The little Mikey option, that's just, no, that's true. It's true. Not large. But, nothing I can do about it. It's like, I'm like balding, right? And I don't just like pretend like I'm not balding. Show's already going in a weird direction. And I still don't like that these things have moved to the middle of the screen. Verathane is good for good enough. Let's sell this shit. I think that's kind of their business plan. They're like, meh. Okay. Yeah, sure. It's not a bad business model, I guess. Like, people will use it. Here you go. And if I found some, like, no, I was gonna say if I found some in a discount bin, it would have to be free. And why is it in the discount bin? Is it already gone bad? I don't. Yeah. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's wonderful. One of my resolutions for the year was to try and look at the good things in the world and be more, not necessarily be more positive, but actively appreciate the good things in the world. So let's actively appreciate that there are companies better than Varathane. My reclaimed pallet furniture is better than the crap at IKEA. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, my friend. It absolutely is. You cover that shit in Varathane, and it's better than what you get at IKEA or Target or Walmart or probably Pier 1. Does that place still exist? Or Canadian Tire, or there's big box places that mass produce garbage, or that retail mass produced garbage. Your reclaimed pallet furniture is 78.4 times better than that. At least. I use wood joinery at least. Oh, well, then it's 236 times better than that. On one project, Varathane Professional Clear Gloss, I applied over 2 coats of Minwax wood finish stain in ebony, turned several parts of the top laminated pine into an oddly scaly silver finish. It's another vote for Varathane, because that's what you want. You want your top coat to make what you've already done turn into an odd, scaly silver finish. It's one more review. Let's focus on the positive. Got over 700 clicks on that jewelry box video in one day. It's probably, well, according to YouTube, it's my best performing video over the last 10, not including lives. My best performing video over the last 10 in terms of the amount of time that it's been on the internet. So it's been up for 1 day and 5 hours, and it is number 1 of my last 10 at 729 views. So let's see. Had to redo the project. I positively won't use Varathane anymore. I think I use Minwax. Yeah, Minwax makes some good products. I use Minwax tongue oil. I've used Minwax teak oil. I've used Minwax wipe-on polyurethane. I've used Minwax tinted tongue oil. Walnut tinted tongue oil I used on the Unity coffee table was Minwax. Minwax is okay. Minwax is good. What were your last 10 videos? My last 10 videos was the resolutions, my resolutions video, the year in review, the making 30 bowls from one big ash board. It's 4. Limited edition marking knives, dice boxes, the wooden mountain art, the inlay panel, the resin inlay panel on the paddle. And we're already back at the 2023 New Year's resolutions because I didn't do very many videos last year. and the year in review from 2022 are my last 10. Jewelry Boxes that was released yesterday is almost at 30 bowls from One Big Ash board already. It's double. I have double as many views on Jewelry Box as I do on Dice Boxes from 6 months ago. I'm about to use Armor Seal satin finish on my next telly. All right, I've heard good things about Armor Seal. Is Armor Seal? No, isn't Armor Seal like the log sealing stuff? They probably make other things. Let's temperature come back up. Okay. Varathane with Minwax poly, good for slap together and sell projects, but not your fancy quality woodworkers. It's a matter, sometimes good, like we already said, good enough is sometimes good enough. That's Varathane good enough is good enough for a lot of things. Ever watched Four Eyes Furniture? I did watch Four Eyes for quite a while. He's a little too mid-century modern for me. Like I watched him for his video work and his technique work. His final projects are not really my thing in terms of their aesthetic. But yeah, he makes good videos. And he's funny. He's a dude I could see like hanging out and having a beer with. He's Watco, Minwax, Howard's, Jasco, and a couple others. Watco I use Watco lacquer. I use Minwax lots of things. I use Howard's feed and wax sometimes. I've never used Jasco anything, but Armor Seal is Primo brand. Is it? Sure, his furniture does have that type of aesthetic. I like his design process. I like his video production aspect where like he'll do the sketch, the designs, and like the way he puts those into his work is really good. Like he's really good at bringing in his design process and explaining it through like, it's hard to explain. Like you'll have like essentially it's like SketchUp designs that he is like showing you and explaining and stuff, like incorporated into the build videos and stuff. It's cool the way that he does his project. First time hearing of Jasco. Yeah, me too. Armor Seal is what Spagnuolo used before he came scared of VOCs. No, he used General Finishes. Oh, General Finishes makes Armor Seal. You're right. We're both right. Chris, what are VOCs? VOCs, well, I'm sorry you asked Chris. I won't answer. VOCs are volatile organic compounds. They are the poison that is off-gassing from finish. So they're the things that you don't want to be breathing in when finishes. They're what make finishes stink. Well, no, they're not. Well, they're part of what make finishes stink. When you're using a finish and it smells bad for you, that's the VOCs. VRCs are like finishing farts. Kind of. They're the poison that gets airborne when finishes are off-gassing. They're one of the reasons you want to stand downwind when you're spraying lacquer. Upwind. You want to be standing upwind Just takes beans for me to make VOCs. Volatile organic. I don't know that your farts are volatile. Maybe technically, I don't know. Let's look it up. Would farts qualify as a volatile organic compound? So when politicians speak, that's VOCs. It's a lot of off-gassing. It's true. I don't think it qualifies, but I understand your sentiment. I have questions for you guys. There aren't really a lot of you here. Does anybody here or anybody watching this after the fact, because people do for some reason watch this after the fact, if you use Dremel type carving tools, little 1/8 inch spinny bits to carve wood, what do you like? I have to develop and practice enough to teach a carving with rotary tools class and try to make some little necklace pendants. I'm going to try to get people through some little necklace pendants. We're going to talk about wood structure and carve away material to make little necklace pendants. And I have a bunch of these little diamond tip dealies, but I don't really like them. I like them somewhat, but ideally I'd have like a full set of like saber tooth carving bits. But they're expensive ass. Does anybody have any experience with any, like, basically I'm asking for recommendations on 1/8 inch shank carving burrs for use in Dremel type operations on wood. Either here tonight if you're live or watching this after, you can leave them in the comment section. Because yeah, that's a thing that I need to get into in the next couple of months in order to teach in April. And teach some people how to make a thing that I've never made before as of right now. Kutzall. Let's go Kutzall Canada. What's that? What does that come up as? You've used the Princess Auto brand for my rocker. Kutzall. Lee Valley's got Kutzall. Kutzall.com. Tools made to last. Are they just going to be essentially same price? Are they fancy, like expensive ass, like saber tooths are? Let's go look at Kutzall. Lots of different shapes. They look fairly similar to the saber tooths. I want to start carving flowers on the aprons of my benches. Good for catching the eyes of middle-aged women. You're not supposed to be catching the eyes of middle-aged women, Joel. Okay? You're married with a child. Okay, I'll look into Kutzall. So like I want quality. I want the best value, basically. I'm willing to pay for quality if it's worth it. Same as I am with everything. If it's worth it to spend the money, I'll spend the money. But I don't want to spend the money and then realize I didn't have to. Could use the Viver Dremel brand. We've been through this, okay? That's all. I'm going to leave that open. Let's go leevalley.com and just go to, I don't know, carving bits or something. See what they have there. Sometimes Lee Valley has a quality brand that's just like Lee Valley this. Let's go, what would we even call it? Carving burr? Yeah, carving burrs. Wood carving burrs. Let's see what they got. You mean you don't buy woodpecker tools? I've bought one woodpecker tool, and I bought it off Mark Spagnol. And I didn't buy it off Mark Spagnol. It was a giveaway, and then I had to pay for shipping and UPS fees. So it was like I bought it off Mark Spagnol. Typhoon carving burrs is what Lee Valley sells. Looks okay. It's got shank options. Got 1/8" shank on that bad boy. Well, I gotta pick a shape first. See, but they're from, like, they start at $32 each. Yeah, I don't want that. Grit course. $35 for 1/8" tapered. No. See, I might as well just buy a set of saber tooths for $180 or whatever. Viver Flex Shaft Grinder rotary tool. Sure will. Sure will. Matthias has plans for building a Dremel out of wood. Woodpeckers is the modern Stanley regarding collectibles. I don't know what that means. Are those to chisel doors? Dave London. You got to be more specific, my friend. I don't know what you're referencing. You could just yeah, they're carving implements, right? So like, see, they get like little burrs and things on them for like carving away wood with a little rotary tool for detail work. And let's go, Sabertooth has good like photos of what we're talking about. So like these kind of little spinny carving wood removal bits for 1/8" things that take 1/8" posts, like Dremels and Fordhams and my crappy Mastercraft thing. Doing detail work and little hand carving, hand power carving. I'm gonna make little necklace dealies. These are completely stolen off the internet. These are not my designs. They are inspiration that I'm gonna use. to create some templates to hopefully be able to teach people how to use this. Seriously though, I have 2 Dremels, but don't really find a huge use for them. I've used the grinding wheels to cut some metal, but they don't last long. Neither do the diamond sanding ones. Yeah. I understand that. I also, because this is the way my brain works, I was like, well, if I'm going to get into little like detail carving things, just saying. Skip the Dremel and just use the laser cutter. Except it's not the same. It would be more like a CNC operation, not a laser operation. And it's not really a class. I mean, I'd probably at this point, I probably could do like an introduction to Glowforge laser cutting or laser work on a Glowforge class. But it would be like, okay, now go home and buy a $10,000 unit and you too can do this operation. Like, it's not really a class where you can be like, okay, everybody, now you know how to go home and do this yourself. I think Matthias says, oh, that's good. That's good. I think Matthias's wooden Dremel is going to be partially sponsored by Woodcraft and promoted by Cosma. I want to think that's a joke, but it might not be. When I built my first guitar, though, I only had a Dremel, a jigsaw, and a circular saw. Did 90% of it by hand with draw knives, chisels, and such. Yeah, see, I think a combination. I'm going to make a couple of bird's mouth, sort of like marquetry. What are they called? Fixtures? I get like they come up, you clamp them to the bench and they come up, and they got a little hole in them with a triangle that comes out, and you put your thing on there, and then you fret saw. You do like this with a fret saw, and you hold it on the platform. Somebody, this would be a good GIF. And then, so we'll sort of fret saw and slash coping saw out the thing. I got a set of these old diamond files for stuff. But the idea of the class is like power carving with Dremels to create pendants for necklaces. So I do want some power carving burr things to incorporate into the class. Beer. Maybe I just buy, see, this is a whole set. This is a set of 4 from the coarse down to super fine or whatever. Yeah. Extra coarse through to extra fine. 72.60 for 4. That's not that bad. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, if they're going to last and I'm going to get use out of them. It beats with the Typhoon individuals from Lee Valley that are $35 a pop. It's for damn sure. It's twice as many. Jewelers use them too. Yeah, the little bird's mouth beak. I don't know what they're called. You clamp them and they raise up your work. And then, yeah, jewelers use them. Luthiers use them for cutting out inlays. carving seems like a whole other rabbit hole to go down. Well, yeah, it does. Sure. But I mean, anything in woodworking could be a rabbit hole if you let yourself fall. But like, I think I found a pretty decent balance. I could have very easily become a turner and never made another flat thing ever again if I let myself fall down the hole. But you can find a balance. You can incorporate some carving into your other things. You can incorporate some turning into your other things. Or go down the hole. Go fall down the rabbit hole. See where it goes. Have a good time. Use a jeweler's saw and a piece of wood with a V in it to do inlays. So essentially, that's what I'm talking. It's a piece of wood with a V in it, and usually it has a little hole in the middle. And your saw goes up and down this way, and you move the piece on the top of the little platform, like this. I just want to keep doing that because it's fun. And then you can cut out your general shape, and then you masking tape and star bond your piece down to a pleat, and then you can carve away bits with the Dremel bits, with the little saber tooths or the carving burr things. Why not start with the Mastercraft brand Dremel bits instead of the $200 ones? The only carving burrs that I saw at Canadian Tire, because I looked, have 1/4 inch shank. They don't. The Mastercraft that I saw didn't have 1/8 inch shank carving burrs. It's a good question because that's where I would start. And then I would find out that they're garbage and then I would move up. But that's where I would start if it was an option. Do some research for me, production assistant Chris Pennell. I'm paying you. Find me the cheap Mastercraft ones, because I couldn't find them. Oh, beep, beep, beep. Glad Amy isn't here to see this. I kind of wish she was here. If she shows up, let me know. I'll know. No. Yeah, okay. So that's a thing. I can get you a set of Harbor Freight Dremel bits, 50 bits for $1. What? 50 bits for $1 quality? I don't know what that means. That means they're garbage and I don't want them. I do want to start Dremel carving. I will teach you. Once I learn how, I will teach you. On my benches that I always make with reclaimed pallet wood that are 237% better than IKEA furniture. Bits that last for 20 seconds. Yeah, I don't want that. I don't want that. That's what I don't want. Especially teaching people. I don't want them to get frustrated by the tool they're using. I don't want them to get frustrated at all, but I especially don't want them to get frustrated with the process because what they're using to do it is shit. And I could be like, oh, if we had a good one of these, it'd be easier. Like, that's just a shitty teaching technique. So this is why you don't want to buy garbage ones, because you'll have this kind of result. Like, just get frustrated by the tool teaching. No, that's not what happens. You enjoy yourself because of the tool teaching, because charisma goes a long way. To having a good experience in a class. Trust me, I know. Teaching is an art of itself. It is. It absolutely is. And like having a rapport and reading the people to know how much of what what you need to be in terms of a personality for them to respond. And yeah. Today's lesson: don't buy cheap shit. I mean, it's not always true. You can get away with cheap. I have a lot of cheap garbage clamps. Do they clamp? Yes, they do. Would I like to have better clamps? Yes, I would. But do they clamp? Yes. There are a lot of things. Unfortunately, there are a lot of things in this world where it is a get what you pay for kind of situation. But it's always a matter of balancing that out with what do you need? Do you need Bessie's? No. Do my Mastercraft clamps clamp as well as Bessie's? No. But do they clamp more than a quarter as well? Yes, they do. They cost a quarter as much, and they clamp more than a quarter as well. I would say they clamp 75% as well for 25% of the cost. So, yeah. There are some things, however. Mine $800 Canadian table saw that's on year 6 has never let me down. Got it at Home Depot. Is more than a tenth as good as a SawStop of equivalent. No, I guess it wouldn't be a tenth. More than it's way more than a seventh as good as the equivalent SawStop or Powermatic or whatever. Pick your brand. Everything must be Festool and Bessie. Sent you a pic of my first guitar build. Oh, snap. Let's check it out. I'm assuming that it is on the Facebook. There it is. Hey, everybody. Let's check out Paul Waldrop's first ever guitar build. That's a dick move, Paul. To put this in front of people and be like, "That was my first guitar." It's pretty snazzy. Is that the only pic you sent? Yep. I want to see the close up of the inlay, because that's what we're talking about, right? You hand cut these inlays with it like a fret saw. That is a sweet guitar for your first go, though. With your Bigsby and whatever. It's like a zebra wood pick guard. Get binding all around the fretboard. He's just showing off. Like I was pretty proud of my first guitar, but damn, like a holly body. Shut up. See, that's why you don't have any friends, Paul. It's because you're like, hey, check out my first guitar, and it's like that. Took 9 months. I had to redo the neck 5 times. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't that much quicker than that, but everybody can do whatever it is. They're unqualified is not a thing. Right? He was totally unqualified to make that guitar, and he made that guitar. Every time I'm on your lives, Paul is showing off. Right? Kind of dick. Right? This is a fun show. Bennett was unqualified to shoot that video, and look how much better it turned out. Then what? We don't know what how it would have turned out if he wasn't there. We have no frame of reference for this. Okay? We don't know that it turned out better because he was there. Maybe it would have been better without him. We don't know. We have no way to know. He was there and it was good. That's all we know. We don't know whether it was better than what it would have been otherwise. We can't know these things. Compare the current metrics with historical data. That's correlation. That's not causation. There's no way to say. I mean, there's too many other factors that could be involved. Could be thumbnail has a big impact. That was all me. Could be that all the people who happened to want to see Jewelry Box right now in their lives, they needed that for whatever. There's too many factors to be able to say how much impact Mike Bennett had. It's impossible. Let's just say he helped. It's good. That's all we can say for sure. And it was much more fun. For me, it was much more fun having him here while I was doing it. It was a good time. But damn, you should have seen how much garbage we had to cut because he was being all like Spielberg and shit. It's like, okay, so I'm gonna start up here. I'm gonna pan across from these clamps down to the floor and get this spot of paint. I'm gonna close in on the spot of paint, and then we'll cut to you making the table saw cut, and then back to the chisel rack. And so it was just like, what? It's like, okay, well, I don't think that's going to make the final edit, but we'll do it, So there were a lot of times, Mike, be honest. There were a lot of times when you were like, okay, this is what we're going to do. And I was like, okay, but it's going to get cut. And then when we sat down to do the edit, it got cut. I'm going to throw dirt on the lens for action. I think the throwing of the fabric bits, I think that was actually my idea at the time. I was like, ooh, should throw this at the camera lens. And he was like, yes. I think that was me. He did have many good ideas. It was a collaboration. The collaboration between Bennett and I in the filming and creation of this video made it better. That's all. It made it better than it would have otherwise been. But we don't know how much. How much beer? And he goes in and does this close-up shot that's going to be really awesome, and then it's not even focused in the right place. Release a director's cut. Ask Mike if he wants to sit down with all the raw footage and make his own version of it and re-edit all of that into a director's cut. Let him know. Ask him if he wants to sit down with all the footage and do a new edit of whatever he would have done. Ask him, because I bet the answer is no. And it would be feature length. It would probably, if he had his way, that video would have been about 58 minutes long. And boring as shit. There would have been a lot more cool shots incorporated, but nobody would have got through it. That's what I tried to do in the first place. I know. I think it was a collaboration. If you let me know if you want to sit down and redo and do a director's cut edit, I'm happy to have you do that. And we'll put it up on the YouTube channel even. And we'll watch the numbers. See how many people go like, yep. It'll be like people watching and then they go like, ugh. And it's good. Make a cut for me, upload it as an Instagram reel. We do need to make a TikTok cut. So we got to turn it vertical, and we got to get it down to like a minute for the idiots. So that's an upcoming project. I'm gonna have myself one of my dirty cigarettes just over here. I'm still right here with you. Just gonna be just over here. This is my lighter these days. Question, do you normally squirt wood glue directly on your bench before brushing it on the project? I think the key to that question, the key word in that question is usually. And I would say yes. I think it's not unusual for me to do that. I don't know if it's more than half the time. But like a pretty high percentage of the time. Like sometimes, actually, at one point in that video, I actually like put some tape down to squirt the glue on. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I don't bother. Sometimes the glue goes straight on whatever I'm putting it on, right out of the bottle. I don't think there's an answer to what do you usually do. A good oiled and wax bench won't hold the glue thing. It's pretty easy to chip off. Yeah, I can peel off wood glue off my bench, no problem. Even in the condition that it's in, needing a resurfacing and refinishing. Like wood glue, just you can peel it off. It's actually pretty satisfying when you leave wood glue on your bench and you go and you peel it off. And even if you can't, like it's a workbench. Like it's got all kinds of like I went through a thing and now it's got screw holes in it and it's got epoxy on it, it's got finish on it. Oh, here's some wood glue right over there. Here's some primer on it. It's a workbench. I'll probably resurface it and refinish it when it comes back into the shop after the reno this year. I'll probably do a flattening and refinishing on the bench whenever that reno happens this year. Actually, Mike Bennett said that too when we were editing. He's like, look at you just like squirting glue on the bench like some kind of heathen. It's like, nah. I wasn't saying it because I think the workbench is a shrine, but it would just be a mess to clean up. End up with glue everywhere if I did that. No, you squirt a little bit out, brush it on your stuff, and then either wipe it off or let it dry and peel it up. No big. It's different with epoxy because epoxy doesn't like to peel up. You're gonna chisel it off, and that kind of sucks. But when I was doing what was I doing? Something I was doing with epoxy, and I put down a bunch of packing tape to avoid the problem. And then the packing tape residue, when I took the packing tape off, actually like was a bigger hassle than chipping the epoxy off would have been. Yeah, like trying to acetone up all the like packing glue residue off my workbench like was a way bigger hassle than it would have just been to have the few drips of epoxy on it and been like what? It's also a Harbor Freight workbench? It absolutely is not. Oh wait. Yours is? Like don't diss my workbench. You better not be calling my workbench a Harbor Freight workbench. This is at least 237 times better than a Harbor Freight workbench. This workbench is as much better. This workbench is as much better than a Harbor Freight workbench as your pallet furniture is to IKEA furniture. His mine is. Okay, good. Don't you be talking smack about my workbench. Love this thing. It's not the be all end all workbench. It's probably not going to be my last workbench, but it's it's good. I'm happy with it. My Harbor Freight workbench is like Rubo made from mahogany. I don't believe you. I need the GIF of Ron Burgundy. I don't believe you. Just kidding. No, it isn't. Okay, good. My workbench is a table saw. You don't have a bench? Like you don't have an actual. I don't think I knew that. No, you don't have like an actual workbench. You just use whatever surface you can find. That makes me sad. Make a workbench. It's 2.5%. Levi Lamb. Another new name. Welcome to the show. It's 2.5% of a decent bench. No, it's 100% of a decent bench. I think it's probably at least half as good as a full-on Rubo. Yeah, I think that's safe to say. And it cost me maybe $300 all told, including the leg vise and the hardware for the leg vise. I don't know. I didn't price it out, but it wasn't extravagant, and it's got cherry stripes. Cherry was pretty cheap at the time. I bought the cherry for this that went into this workbench at like $7 a board foot, Canadian, which at the time was pretty cheap. Maybe less than that. Maybe $6 a board foot for the cherry that went into this. Not that kind of show. What? My workbench is my wife's back. Oh, family show. Joel, come on. Do want a leg vise though. I do get a fair bit of use out of the leg vise. Not as much as I thought I would, but when I need it, it's handy. Same with the holdfasts and the dog holes and things. I use them enough to make it worth having them. Everything has its place. Sometimes you need to pound a holdfast into a dog. Sometimes you need to put something in the leg vise. Sometimes you need a Moxon vise on the end of the bench that I made a pipe clamp Moxon vise to put up on the end of the bench for some things. I probably should probably record the making of the bird's mouth fixtures that I'm going to use for that carving class, the pendant class, because it's going to involve some dovetails. That's about it, really. Just basically I need to cut one set of dovetails and then drill a hole and cut a V. It's not going to be a super interesting project, but might be of value. Maybe I'll use it as a dovetail tutorial. I feel like this was a weird time to come into the show. Oh, not as weird as it would have been 20 minutes ago when I was talking about how you use one of these bird's mouth fixtures to cut things, and I was going like, yeah, you put it up on the low platform and then you use your coping saw or your fret saw and you move the piece around and you use your saw like that to cut your Sorry, I just sent you a close-up on inlay. Had to pull the guitar off the wall. Okay, well, let's look at the close-up of the inlay of Paul's first guitar. It's pretty tight. It's pretty good. And that was with Dremels and stuff? Oh, that's nice. That's nice with the abalone on the wall drip. Faster, Mike? That's for the after show. That's for the after show over on patreon.com/wooden things and stuff. Wouldn't it have been weird if his first guitar had the Mike's Wooden Things and Stuff logo? That would have been really weird because he didn't know that I existed yet. And that logo didn't exist. So yes, that would have been really weird. Dovetails done with a router and a jig using pine. No, I'll probably make them out of, I don't know, I got a big piece of white oak tabletop up there that I'll probably make them out of. And literally just be one set of dovetails that just joins like this, like that. And then a hole and a V. That's all it needs to be. But I need a couple of them because a couple people need to be cutting their shape out while a couple of the other ones are like designing them or transferring them onto their piece. I originally drilled the body out for standard bridge config. What's standard bridge config on one of those? Is it tune-o-matic? It's probably tune-o-matic. Laser cutter. No. Defeats the purpose of the class. I'm going to do Dremel bits and I'll buy some Sabertooths or something. I might bring my drill press down to the shop. I would do the diamond files. I'll make some custom standing sticks with dowels and radiused pieces of wood with sandpaper on them, and we'll make some wicked cool little pendants. Laser cut dovetails. I like that. That'd be cool. They would be very, 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 very small. Anything more than about a 1/4 inch on the Glowforge is not ideal. Just use real chisels by candlelight. Right. That's a good point. Old timey. Candlelight, chisels, fret saws. Can they glue in gems? I suppose. We could make little recesses and we could use like UV epoxy with the little UV flashlight or Starbond to glue in some gems. Yep, it's a possibility. We need to get some little eye hooks for a few of the designs that I'm working on. But they can be They can be cheap little eye hooks at Home Depot or whatever. Want a benchtop mortiser tool? Yeah, I understand that. Mortiser would be cool. I don't get, from what I understand, I know firsthand knowledge. I've heard that benchtop mortisers are kind of like benchtop bandsaws in that you always wish they were better than they are. And they're okay. Even the good ones are like okay. But that you always want them to be better and wish you would have got the floor standing model. But I don't know. I've never owned or even used a mortiser, so. Because I route my mortises and then chisel them out, or I drill my mortises and chisel them out, or I route my mortises and then round over the tenons. Or you could buy a domino. Just throw money at it. Throw money at the problem. Buy a domino. Bennett's camera work is like buying a full-size Laguna. Bennett's camera work is like buying a one-way or an American Beauty by Robust. Bennett's camera work is the robust American Beauty of filming. Damn it! Now I have to go in on a floor standing model. If you have room for it and the budget for it, I think that's my understanding is that's where you want to be if you're cutting a lot of mortises. I looked at a benchtop mortiser but can't justify the price. Says they don't have regular use for one. Yeah, fair enough. Did buy an off-brand domino tool. That's right. He bought the not a domino. I just use a router and a 1/4-inch bit and just make mortises. Did the boss see your new video? I don't know. Probably not. She doesn't really actually support me that much in terms of like it's funny. It's an inside joke. Now, did you watch the jewelry box video that came out yesterday? I don't think she probably did. The jewelry boxes with the little hinge, clasp, wheelies, and the fabric and the flocking. Wow. Yeah. It was funny. It was a funny joke between me and her. We razz each other like that. She's kind of an asshole in terms of like the relationship that we have. Like we jab each other and we have a fun. We're friends. Like me and you guys. It's already established that it's better than his last 10 videos. No, YouTube established that, okay? According to the analytics, more people watching it than have been for the last while. It's not better. No, it is better. They'll be honest, it's better. It's a good video. I'm happy with it. It's also my first video since I made 30 bowls for the shop in September last year, my first project video. Or was Hold on. I think. Yep. No, that's accurate. I was going to say with the marking knives after that. Nope. Oh. How many more views does it need to overtake pork chops? Is the question. I bet it's almost already as popular as pork chops, which is 3 years old. Yeah. Spicy teriyaki pork chops is 799 views. Currently, Jewelry Boxes is, let's do a refresh. Oh, Jewelry Boxes is 772. There's like 20 more people watch Jewelry Boxes, and it'll pass Spicy Teriyaki Pork Chops. I haven't seen the new video yet because I apparently don't support Mike and his creativity. You're very detrimental to my creative process in terms of your support levels, Nadia. Okay. Because Janet said. Also, what kind of parent names their kid Janet with a Y? Like you're just begging for that person to turn out terrible. Don't watch it for Mike, watch it for Bennett. That's right. We need to support my friend Mike Bennett in his cinematography career. You support him. I bet she's watching your show. Well, you know what, Janet? You know what? I'm trying to be positive. This year and looking at the good things in the world. One of my resolutions for the year was to look at the positive things around us and actively look for the good so Janet can suck it. Because she is not part of that. Jan, where's the Y? Is it Jan Y-T? It's like J-A-N-Y-T. That's just stupid. She's actually a lovely person. I know, but it's funny. We're here to have fun. Okay, Nadia. If you have to pick between Janets, okay, Janet with a Y, or Janet who bought the wood, at the wooden mountain thing at the Young at Art show, and the cherry bowl with the octopus on it, and she just comes and spends money. She's got a cane and I have to help her with her bags and stuff. Which Janet is better? Oh, I get it. She doesn't actually know how to pronounce her name. You think her name isn't pronounced Janet? You think it's pronounced like Jan White? As this is a public video, I like them equally. This is the right answer. Yeah. I'm sorry. Are you saying Jam? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Jam? Jan? You shut it. You shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Okay. I'm sorry. Are you saying Jan? 3 points. 3 points for the reference to anybody except Pinnell. Oh, who's going to get the 3 Mike's Wooden Things and Stuff points for the very strange reference that isn't even an accurate quote. For what? Somebody will get it. I have confidence in you guys. Somebody other than Pinnell is going to get that reference. The actual quote is Pan. I'm sorry. Are you saying Pan? Is your name Pan? I did like you sound like an idiot right now. You shut your. Come on, Resident Evil. Yes, very, very close. Very close, Pinnell. You're not allowed to answer the question anyway. Stop giving hints. I miss giving out points for who can get the quote. Nadia gets the points. That's 3 Wooden Things and Stuff points for Nadia. It's a Step Brothers thing. When they go on the interviews together, it's funny. Tim says Will Ferrell. Yeah, you got part way there. You're just too late. Gotta be quicker. And Will Ferrell would have not even earned you partial points. You needed the reference needed to be. I might have given, if you were first, I might have given you partial points for Will Ferrell. You might have gotten 0.7 of a point. Sorry, my hands were busy. I don't need to, maybe I do need to know. Was it hot? Was whatever you're doing like, no, family show. I don't need to know. I've decided I don't need to know. But you could send me an email later if you want. I think John C. Reilly said it though. Will was in the back. It's possible that you're correct. Yeah, I think that is true. Yep. And they were wearing tuxedos, right? Was it the tuxedo one? Sorry, are you saying Pan? I'm sorry, are you saying Pan was Will Ferrell? Doesn't matter. It's funny. That's a funny movie. I think we were talking about Amy earlier. She hates that guy. I think she has like a thing against Will Ferrell movies. Like, and everybody can like what they like. But she just like has a thing, and I get that. Like I have a thing against a few actors and actresses where I'm just like, I don't think I want to watch any of that. Will pops out from behind him and they're both on a motorcycle. Santa, I know him. Yeah, see, Will Ferrell's got some funny movies. They do get fairly sort of generically Will Ferrell, but they all have their moments. They've all got their funny parts. It's not my first Will Ferrell reference tonight either. It was the I Don't Believe You. The Anchorman reference earlier. So you haven't eaten a carb for a year? I mean, if that's how you want to live your life, more power to you. if that's a point of pride for you, like Will Ferrell in Small Bites. Yeah. I have leather bound volumes. Okay, first of all, if you're gonna do it, you got to do it right. Okay. I have many leather bound books, and my office smells of rich mahogany. You missed the Step Brothers reference. Oh, what? Haven't eaten a carb for a year? Well, was it in his? Oh, okay, I did miss it. You're right. I put my balls on your drum kit. Did you touch my drum kit? No. We both know Cops doesn't start until 6. 6? 5. Yeah. It's a good show. It's funny. You can call me Nighthawk. There's a lot of really funny quotable lines in that movie. I feels like we've done this show before, where I just start doing Step Brothers quotes. The voice of an angel. Boats and homes. Oh. Motherfucker, cantileder wine mixer. Will yelling, fuck you, Dale. Yeah. Lots of good parts of that movie. That's probably the epitome. That's probably peak Ferrell in terms of, was that Apatow? Yeah. Step Brothers, because Talladega Nights and it started, the Step Brothers, was Step Brothers before Talladega Nights? Felt like it. I think Step Brothers is probably, if you only get to it, like Desert Island, you can only watch one Will Ferrell movie ever again. It's gonna be Step Brothers. Read your second last message. Step Brothers was peak Will Ferrell for you. Yeah, I think that's good. Sex bet. 6 of the time, it works every time. Anchorman has a special. Has a special place in my soul because it involves journalism a little bit. It's a news station, and so like I had a connection as a journalist. And he's hilarious, and Christina Applegate is hilarious in that, and Paul Rudd, and like the whole cast of that was really good. I killed a guy with a trident. It was really good, but I think Step Brothers, if I could only pick one, yeah, it would be Step Brothers. Yeah, it would have to. There's just too many good lines in that. And when they're watching the music video, presenting the music video, looking for funding from the parents, and in the music video they ran the boat aground. Is that my boat? Oh, prestige worldwide. and they're going into a funding meeting, and the video that they're playing for him involves them running his boat into the ground. It's so good. Dale and Brennan both sleepwalking. Yes, that was also very good. Speaking of Paul Rudd, he and Jeffrey Dean Morgan, I don't know who that is, have a candy store 10 minutes from me called the Samuel's Sweet Shop. Who's Jeffrey Dean Morgan? And do I need to know who that is? I want to go to the candy store just to support Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd, I think, he feels to me like one of the most genuine, down to earth Hollywood people, if that makes sense. Like, he feels like a dude you could just like sit around and play board games with. And not even feel intimidated that he's worth like $1 bajillion and like is in huge films and stuff. He feels just like a regular dude who happens to also be a movie star. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is the guy who owns the candy shop called Samuel. Oh, that's right. Such an idiot. Hold on. Let's look it up. Jeffrey. This is how this show goes. Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Movies and TV shows. Oh, he's that guy. He was in. I didn't see that show, but he was in The Walking Dead, I think, isn't he? I think I might have a shirt with him, or with a club wrapped in barbed wire. See that guy? He was Negan. Yeah, Negan on Walking Dead. I didn't watch Walking Dead. He's Supernatural. I didn't see that either. He also never ages. Yeah, Paul Rudd. Kidding me? The dude's like 90, and he looks. No, he's not. But it's like my age or more. He looks like a 20-year-old. If you hang out with Paul Rudd, there is a non-zero chance you'd be shown a clip of Mac and Me. This is a good point. It's a good point. He'd be like, "Hey, have you seen? I'm not supposed to show people this, but this, like, check out this scene from like my most recent work," and he'd hold his phone up, and it would be the Mac and Me thing. I'm sure it would. Why do I have money in my pocket? Oh, I know why I have money in my pocket. It's like, why is there cash money in my pocket? Oh, I know. Because UPS. Stupid UPS. UPS and their stupid brokerage fees is why I have money in my pocket right now. Let's leave it at that. Okay, Pinnell has put a link, and it's probably not what you think it is, because that's one of the things that Pinnell does. What else should we talk about tonight, my friends? I'm going to do this one. Do this one as practice once I get some carving bits. This is going to be my practice relief carving. Dun, dun, dun. And I'll just put it up here someplace in the background. For pork chops. All right. See, I knew. This is going to be one of my practice pieces for the Dremel carving bits. Because why not practice on something you want to display? You could just Dremel and inlay it into your cabinet door. Into that cabinet door? It's not really deep enough to do a relief carving. That's only 1/4 inch. And it's 1/4 inch plywood. It's 1/4 inch red oak plywood, unfortunately. It's a good idea. If that was thicker and solid wood, that would be a cool idea. Wouldn't mess up those doors. I like the book matching. Well, it's just plywood, but yeah, it does look pretty slick. It was a nice. I did pick some nice grain red oak plywood for those. But maybe I'm like do a relief carving of it and then incorporate it into a box top or something like that. Actually, it would look pretty cool if I made a little box. I did like a relief carving in a piece of wood and then made it into the lid of a box. Because don't just do a practice piece. Do it for something. I mean, do practice pieces if you want to do practice pieces, but I like my practice pieces to be incorporated into something, to be for some kind of purpose other than just practice. I like there to be an end goal. Oh, 7,100 subscribers. Look at that. 7,101. Yay, me. 7,100 people clicked the button that said they want to watch this idiot do stuff on the internet. No accounting for taste, I got 782 views. We're just about to pass pork chops. We could do it live on the show. Live on the show, the brand new jewelry box video passes pork chops views. Some people, I like my practice pieces to be a complete instructional YouTube video. This is true. It's true. Like the Wolverine jig setup video. No way can I call that an instructional. Like, this is not how to set up a Wolverine sharpening jig on your grinder. This is how Idiot Boy tried to set up a Wolverine jig on his grinder and ended up making it work. Don't click that. Don't. I'm warning you. It's going to be pork chops. Or it's going to be Mac and me. I fell for it again. Yeah, that's why it's funny. That's why it's funny. I even told you. I told you. I mean, I'm a little bit delayed when I get the messages. So you guys have seen them a dozen seconds or so before I do. But don't ever trust a Chris Pinnell link to not be teriyaki pork chops. It's like when Conan invited Paul Rudd on the show. Like after 3 or 4 times, he had to know. Like they played it off like he didn't know that it was coming, but they had to know. My friend John came into the shop today and asked about the sales price on the new jewelry boxes. He watched the video and he understands what they're worth, and he was like willing to. He's thinking on it. I might have a jewelry box sale. Oh, I think I want to keep the one that doesn't have the divider thing in it, just as a nice little box to have. But the ones with the jewelry, the flocked divider tray things, I guess I have to sell or gift or whatever. Because I don't need a jewelry box. Wife doesn't need a jewelry box. She's got enough little wooden boxes and jewelry boxes and stuff. So I guess I should probably think about selling them. So what was it? Oh, Vineyard Farmhouse. Welcome, my friend. I like to think I'm partially responsible for your sudden popularity. I linked to you in my Instagram post the other day. It's true. It's like a week ago. It's true. I even commented on that post. I was like, hey, that's my face. You do have a sale? Okay, we'll get it figured out. I think Bennett should have one for RC parts. I don't know that you would want flocking in a tray for RC parts. Actually, I showed him a link to a Lee Valley kit of little glass topped screw off lid things. And I was like, this is for your RC parts, man. All your little screws and et cetera, et cetera. Like $25, you get 40 of these little things, and they all come in a clear case. And it's like, he's like, well, no, I got this crap thing that's okay. Okay. Thought you were going to say your wife doesn't have any jewelry. No, she does, but she's got enough things to keep her jewelry either in or hanging on. Actually, one of the first, no, not the first project, but like a really early project was just like ripping down and gluing pieces of fancy wood back together and then putting a bunch of hooks in it and hanging it up on the wall for the bathroom to hang jewelry off of beside the sink. Little jewelry rack, just little gold hooks hanging out of like a Purple Heart walnut maple bar, about 3 inches by maybe 9, with a bunch of hooks in it. Really early project. Hangs beside the bathroom to this day. It's probably 6-7 years in. I have a sale coming up. $50. That a guy. How much did it cost you to make the thing? $140. Good work, man. Every $50 back into the shop is good. What did I miss out on learning because I didn't come sooner? Well, you missed out on learning we learned that oftentimes you should spend more money to buy a better thing than you thought you needed to. We learned that Step Brothers was the best of the Will Ferrell movies. We learned like there's a lot of fun conversation. There wasn't a lot of learning. We learned a fair bit about Paul Rudd and his candy shop. We learned that Paul Rudd had a candy shop, a partial owner of candy shop with a guy from Walking Dead. Elf was the best of the Will Ferrell movies. No. Elf is maybe the best Christmas movie. Maybe. Elf is in a top 5 Christmas movie discussion. It's not in the best Will Ferrell movie discussion. Is it? It's in a top 10 Will Ferrell movie discussion. But come on. You can't say Elf is the best Will Ferrell movie. Because it's not really a Will Ferrell movie. It's a movie that has Will Ferrell in it. I think there's a difference between those two things. I don't consider Elf a Will Ferrell movie. A Will Ferrell movie is a Will Ferrell movie. This is the Talladega Nights and Step Brothers and Anchorman and Anchorman 2 and those types of movies. Will Ferrell movies. Come on. Elf is a movie that Will Ferrell stars in. It's not a Will Ferrell movie. If that makes sense. Not to be a downer, but David Crosby passed away today. He's like 80. It happens. That's what happens when anybody gets old. But yeah, that sucks. He's actually a good musician. 21-17 Green Bay in the 4th. I would love. Wait, who are they playing? I think we all kind of want the Lions to do it, right? The Lions. Who's Green Bay playing today? And NFL scheduled. I guess the Niners, Packers, and then we want the Lions to beat the Bucks, and we want the Chiefs to beat the Bills. And then we want the Lions to beat the Chiefs. Where's the bracket? Give me the bracket. Give me the bracket. I don't want to have to click on any of these idiots. I don't like any of these people. We'll go ESPN, I guess. Bills over the Chiefs? I don't think that's correct. Just give me the damn bracket. I'll just go to images then. stupid. You make me read a bunch of garbage. NFL playoff bracket. Here we go. Let's go with, okay, got Chiefs, Browns, Bills, Ravens, Saints, Bucks. What? It's 2021. Shut up. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Houston, Baltimore, Kansas City, Buffalo, Tampa Bay, Detroit, Green Bay, San Francisco. Okay, so I would prefer San Francisco to beat Green Bay, but I love the storyline of Green Bay beating San Francisco. Detroit over Tampa, Kansas City over Buffalo. This is my preference. I would say Houston, Kansas City, Detroit, San Francisco would be my preference. And then it would be Detroit over San Francisco, Kansas City over Houston, and then Detroit over Kansas City in the Super Bowl would be how I want to see that go. In reality, I think it's probably going to be Baltimore. Well, apparently Green Bay's winning tonight. I would have said Baltimore, San Francisco, Detroit, Kansas City, and then I would have probably had Kansas City, San Francisco if I was picking it all the way through. I'm going to go urinate beside the house. Back momentarily. You know what I want? I want the Detroit Lions to make it to the Super Bowl and then sign Barry Sanders for like a one-day contract on Super Bowl Sunday and have him just like go out and stand on the field for a play so that if they win, he can get a Super Bowl ring. That's what I want to have happen. That'd be great. What are we talking about? The new singers? Picked a great moment to pop in. Oh, like right as I was walking out? Auto-tune should have stayed in the oil industry. Okay. Yeah. I understand people's problem with auto-tune in music. Beer. I also kind of think that if it helps people be creative, Like I don't sing that well, but I love it. And if it encourages people to be creative in that space that they love, I don't necessarily have that big a problem with it. I don't appreciate it nearly as much as people who don't have it. But I'm not going to fault somebody for auto tuning up their thing because it's what they love doing and it makes them sound better and they like that too, I guess. I don't know. Got an 8-hour drive tomorrow to the Texas Panhandle, coming back on Monday. Okay, we're not going to have a fight about how big your states are again, are we? Because that is, you drive faster. Okay, it's not that big. Just kidding. I'm kidding. I know Texas is like at least this big. Remember when we were like talking about New York not being as big? Don't most of the popular singers buy their songs? Well, they pay people to write them for them, yeah. Or at least they pay collaborators to write them with them. Last time I sang was at my wedding to your wife. Okay. In public. Yeah, no, that's fair. You sing all the time in the shower. And probably in the shop. With the CCR playing on the stereo. I can picture it. You consider Prince wrote songs for just about everyone. Yeah, Prince wrote songs for a lot of people. Um, a lot of people have popular songs that they didn't write, but that's fine. Some people write really good songs. Some people perform really well. Some people do both. There's no. Some people don't do any of it well, and they still make millions of dollars. Looking at you, Selena Gomez. No, I'm just. I just picked a name. Going to Delaware, Texas, 711.33 kilometers. So that should take you about 6.5 hours each way. John Denver wrote "Leaving on a Jet Plane." Yeah, lots of famous musicians wrote songs that other people did either better than them or instead of them. Most people do. See, I think I said plus about that, plus extra for stopping for gas and to stop for hash browns at the roadside diners. It's like 12,000 football fields, give or take. Yeah. I'm not a math guy. We'll get Pinnell to put that in a spreadsheet and see how many he can do the accounting on that one. I've written some songs. I've sung some songs. I've played some songs. I love it. And sometimes I would like for them to be better. But I like that I've written them and performed them myself. I don't know. It's a good question. If I wrote a song that someone else performed and it got enormously popular and awesome, Would I love that? I guess I would. I would take pride in the fact that I wrote that song that they made popular and was good. And I would take pride the other way too. If somebody else wrote a song that I sung and performed and got popular, I would take pride in that too. Yeah. I would rather it be both. Our football fields are bigger. Keith, what? American or Canadian football fields? Keith, you better be in Canada, my friend. Because otherwise you're wrong. Driving by the 7-pound steak place in Amarillo. Don't know if I'll try that. Is that like a if you can finish it, it's free kind of joint? I've always wanted to try one of those. I think I might be past my prime in being able to actually like accomplish one of those, but like there were definitely times where I probably could have completed one of those challenges. Reznor wrote Hurt for Johnny Cash. I don't know if that's completely accurate. I know Trent Reznor wrote Hurt, and I know that Johnny Cash played it, but I don't know if that's the dynamic that was involved. I don't know that he wrote it for him. And I don't know if off just real quick on the live show if I could fact check that, because that would involve a lot of people's opinions and stuff. Probably I'd have to sort through all of the TMZ and like E-channel bullshit. Like, has anyone heard Eminem Lose Yourself covered by Australian country singer Casey Chambers? No, but it sounds awesome. Reznor wrote Hurt for Nine Inch Nails when Cash performed it. Reznor said it was no longer his song. That sounds more like how I think of that song going. Hurt had been out for a long time before Cash did its thing. Yeah, see, I think Johnny Cash covered Nine Inch Nails on that. But because it was on Downward Spiral, wasn't it? When did Johnny Cash do his? Okay, well, I can look it up then. Hurt song, Nine Inch Nails. Did Nine Inch Nails write Hurt? Well, no, Trent Reznor wrote Hurt. What's the best Nine Inch Nails song? No. Wikipedia? Can we trust Wikipedia? Hurt is a song written by Trent Reznor. Yep. It was released on Downward Spiral. Boom. Released nominated Grammy nomination in 1996, but lost to Alanis Morissette. That hurts me a little bit. It almost made me throw up in my mouth. 2002, Johnny Cash covered the song. Video, best video of the year at the Grammys. Okay. So, yeah. Trent Reznor, Downward Spiral, Johnny Cash, 6 years later. That's Alanis Morissette won Best Rock Song in 1996 over Hurt. That makes me sad. Looking forward to next weekend. Haven't been able to get to the shop. Over 35 Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit. That's like positive degrees. It's like 6 or something. For what song? You know what song it was. Had to be You Ought to Know. Yeah. +4. Yeah. Blairmore. Where are you? Where's Blairmore? Keith? Where are you in Canada? Because when you said our football fields are bigger, I knew, well, I hoped that you were correct and that you were in Canada. Crow's Nest Pass. Okay. You're like down between Fernie and Lethbridge. Oh, we've had this talk, haven't we? I can't remember everything, my friend. Keith is your new BFF. That's right. We talked about many Southern Prairies things. There's a lot of things that happen on this show, my friend. Keith Newton. I'll see what I can do to remember that we are super tight. We talked about Tabor corn and the Tabor Corn Fest and Elkwater, Cypress Hills. Yeah. Okay. I'm back. We're good. Mike calls us all his BFFs. No, I had a fight with Amy a little while ago about how that's not a thing. There can't be numerous best friends because best is a quantitative measurement. There can only be one best. There can only be one unique thing. You can't say like this is the most unique thing. Unique is a quantitative measurement. You can't have this is less unique than this. No. You can only have one best friend. You can have one best male friend. You can have one best female friend. You can have one best guitar friend and stuff like that. But like you can't have more than one BFF unless it has a different definition than best. In which case it shouldn't be BFF. It should be GFF. It should be like greatest friend forever. Or great. It can't be greatest. It'd be like great friend forever. Like really good friend. That's why she isn't here. Yeah, because we got in a fight about BFF. Is that why? I'm gonna send her a message right now on Facebook and be like, people think that we're fighting. I'm gonna ask her. People on the show think we're fighting. There we go. I'm just checking on her. Just checking to see if this is the case. I said, people on the show think we're fighting because of the BFF thing a few weeks ago. And that's why you're not around on the live show anymore. So, we'll see. Bet she blocks him. Doop. Unfriend. The Mike's Wooden Things and Stuff reunion show. Don't know what that means. I hope that we're still doing the meetup, the meetup down in Victoria at Bear Mountain, sponsored by Lee Valley. When Amy and fiance come up to get married, we can all meet up, and Pinnell can go get lost in the woods, and it'll be fun. Book a block of hotel rooms at Bear Mountain. We'll go play some golf. We'll go down to Lee Valley in Langford. Oh. That's right. That's right. We're talking about you. She might show up in a minute. She may have just forgotten that it's Saturday. She's busy. Okay, we're all busy. We can't always keep track of what day things are or what day it is at any given time. I was having this talk with somebody at work the other day. It was like, the only reason I know that it's Thursday is because this is my first work day of the week. And the date is approximately the 17th of January. It's about the middle. Like I just kind of like estimate. It's like it's about the middle of January, or it's close to the end of January. I don't know. Y'all better stop. Well, yeah, Amy Gersh is here. See? I just had to fire her a message. She like I said, she didn't realize it was Saturday, or she was at work. And all right, later, Paul. Have a good trip all the way across Texas tomorrow. Amy, yeah, Tim was particularly missing you. He was like, "Oh, I wish Amy was here." And I said, "We all wish Amy was here, but people have other shit they got going on, you know." I was spending time with my fiance, weekend without the kiddo. Oh, did we interrupt 60 time? I'm sorry. Like you don't have to hang out. Like if you guys are like having there were things tonight that you would have very much enjoyed in terms of like the yeah. I was talking about making a bird's mouth fixture for a vise where you hold your thing up here and then you use your coping saw or your fret saw to cut out the fret saw demo. Pinnell knows. It's like, yeah, you hold your piece down and then you use your fret saw like this to cut out the piece. I was like, yeah, no, you just you hold it and then you use your saw. It was fun. And then I think that's the first time your name came up, weirdly enough, was when I did that demonstration. Somebody was like, Amy should be here. A manual scroll saw. That's exactly what it is. It's exactly a manual scroll saw. Yeah. Carl Jace, new name, nice beard with the horns. Thanks. I grew it myself. Master fretting. That's, yeah. Or master coping, I think, is a little bit better. Coping saw. Master coping. Or and then if eventually you manage to cut through and there's like a release of the piece that you've been cutting out with your saw as you've been moving it, the piece around on the jig, you cut around the outside and then it releases from the rest of the material, and there's like a satisfaction in that. There's Family Show. Yeah. See? Let's dial it back. Beer. Like, I spent probably at this point maybe like 2 minutes of this show, 2 whole minutes, like 120 seconds, like doing this. Thankfully, it wasn't tiring at all because I've been working out those muscles over time. So, stool's getting wobbly. Should tighten up those bolts a little bit. Director's cut. I gotta do a little bit of maintenance on this one of these days. Only showed up because Mike messaged and said y'all thought we were beefing because of the BFF comment. He's my Canadian BFF. That's how it came up. We were started to talk about like your different BFFs, and I said no. We've already gone through this. And then somebody said, well, that's why Amy doesn't come anymore. But that isn't what they said. Family Show. Said, well, that's why Amy isn't here, because you guys got in a fight about the BFF thing. Yeah. The stool is wobbly. Yeah, this one is, yeah. The 2 racing stripes on top of my head. I got 3, I think. I got this guy. I got this guy right here. I got these 2. I got 3 racing stripes. Thanks very much. Okay, I want to know what actually happened to the stool thing. You pick on you what actually happened to the stool. The stool got most of the way through, and then I realized this is stupid. Why are you making a really fancy stool for your shop when you can buy a stool for $40 and just sit on it? And it had been, I'd gotten part of the way through the process, and I'd cut like, what are they even called? The mortise and tenons that meet, the half lap mortise and tenons that meet inside the leg and stuff. And it's the joinery is cut and it's all set up and ready to become a stool. And I was like, this is stupid. And then I bought a cheap, crappy stool, which is just fine. And so now the parts that are still assembled in its stool form over there are going to get cut down a little bit and become an end table. And I'm going to give it to my parents for their anniversary or something. Interception San Francisco. Oh, I want to know. I love the Green Bay story, but San Francisco's a better football team. and they should win that game. And I want Christian McCaffrey to win a Super Bowl, but maybe not this year if it's Detroit. I don't know. 101.12 Fahrenheit in the shade at your shed. That's pretty warm. That's like 37, 38, something like that. That's pretty warm. Thankfully, you got that big tiki bar. You can hang out in that. San Francisco wins? Really? Yeah. Niners win by 3. Nope. 1st and 10 at the Green Bay 30. Oh, yeah. 1st and 10. That is our springtime weather. We hit 115 in the summer. Yeah, we don't get 115 here, but we like 101. Like, yeah. Yeah, it's hot, but it's not. 24-21 final. Niners over the Packers. Okay. So, Niners, Ravens. Let's keep hoping for the Lions. I want to see Lions and Niners. I think would be great. Is that a thing that can happen? I lose track of who's in what division and shit. NFL playoff bracket. I closed those earlier. .108 Fahrenheit is the hottest ever in Medicine Hat. That sounds wrong to me, because I'm sure when I was growing up in Swift Current, it was hotter than that, like fairly frequently. So San Francisco comes out of there. Get Detroit beating Tampa Bay. Got Kansas City beating Buffalo. And we got Baltimore beating Houston. So Baltimore, Kansas City, Detroit. Damn. Detroit and San Francisco can't be a Super Bowl. But we can have Detroit against Kansas City and Detroit winning. That'd be cool. Completely unrelated, but before I came here to the live tonight, watched a video of Frank Zappa from 1963 playing a bicycle with a bow. Sounds very Frank Zappa. Not summer yet here. We have humidity also, and giant spiders. You guys, you Australians. Oh, speaking of Australians, I would like to publicly thank very much my friend Jax at JND Creations for the intro bit, the little 15-second intro bit that he made for me. I wanted to, we had a plan to meet up virtually on a video call for him to teach me how to do that. And he was like, oh, just like send me the clips and whatever so that I have an idea of what you want to do. I was like, so I explained to him and I uploaded it to a Google Drive, like the 6 or 7 clips that I wanted to use and the audio track. And he was just like, oh, something like this? Within like 7 minutes. And I was like, okay, well, never mind. I guess don't bother teaching me how to do it. Like, I'll just use that. Thank you very much. Like, And so I joined his Patreon. I said, like, yeah, I have to give you some money for this. So I am now, as much as I pretend like we are nemesis, or whatever. He's a fantastic human being, and he's a good friend of mine, and I support him now financially on Patreon. So, because support your friends, you're like the people that you appreciate. Send them a couple extra bucks, and it makes a huge difference, especially if they put work in for you. He made this thing for me out of his own time. I throw him some money, and I'll throw him some money every month for the next while, in support for his efforts. Reopen a closed tab. No shift needed to Command T a new tab. That doesn't matter. I'll type it in again. Oh. You guys with your efficiencies, think you can't just like open a new tab and retype it? It's like an extra 7 seconds of your life. Come on. Slow down a little bit. When you need to know hotkeys to reopen a thing that you closed, let's slow down and just okay, kids, I'm out for the night. Night. All right. Thanks, Mike Bennett, whose work we don't know was of benefit or not, because we can't prove it either way. Thank you for your help on the most recent video. Everybody, thank you to Mr. Mike Bennett for his camera work on the video that came out yesterday. And then we can be done talking about it. Okay? He's also the drummer in my band. And we don't want to make drummers feel good about themselves. Went to Calgary today and bought a Laguna 1216 at Black Forest. Haven't opened it yet. Did you tell them that you bought it because of the influence of this YouTube guy that you follow? I'm just kidding. It's a great tool. It is. I have heard that there are duds out there. In fact, somebody commented on my Laguna 1216 video the other day about how much trouble they've been having with Laguna customer service in terms of dealing with something. So I don't have any I haven't dealt with them in any way, but hopefully your result is as good as my result was. Later, Director Mike. This is Michael Scorsese over there. Duds exist in all parts. Yeah. Don't get the ones made on Monday or Friday. Yeah, but you don't get to decide that when you go to the store. You should be like, that's not a thing you can do. Be like, look at the production date and be like, on your phone. Be like, no, that was a Monday. Nope. Maybe it is. Maybe some people do that. Is that a thing people do? I just buy the thing that I want, and then if it sucks, it goes back, or I fix it and complain. Or don't fix it and throw it out and complain, depending on the price point. I've gotten very lucky with my major tools. I've gotten very lucky. I have not ever had a situation where I needed to go to the manufacturer and say, and have any sort of fight with them about it, like warranty things, or maybe my standards are lower than some people, but I feel like if it's not as awesome as I thought it was, it's probably on me for not buying a better version. I don't know. But I've never had I've never even, honestly, I've never even had to call customer service for any of my tools. Paul Waldrop got me a new switch for my Laguna when it stopped doing the backwards forwards, which I still haven't replaced because it only does it sometimes. But none of my major tools have ever had a problem that I needed to contact the manufacturer for. So maybe I'm just super lucky. Or maybe I'm just like, meh, deal with it. The problem the guy like commented on the show or on the video for earlier today was a problem though. He was like, it's making a clunking noise and the belt is slipping and the bed doesn't match. Like it was a seriously problematic tool. And he was like, and I contacted them and they're making it out like it's my fault. And I'm like, that sounds shitty. And I'm sorry that that's the situation for you. I don't have any frame of reference for this, my friend. Let's see put this weird shelf over here. I just want to cut this off because that's bothering me. Let's do a little beard trim live on the show using my camera from it's probably not the best idea. Oh, that one went too far the other way. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'll take care of that later. Oh, that's terrible though. Ooh, that's like going into mustache. Never mind. I'll get that taken care of later. I'll try not to let it bother me. Should we wrap this up? Seems like nobody wants to keep talking. Anybody still hanging out? I can't not see it now. Yeah, I know, right? Like there's a... Oh, there it is. There it was. In behind. It might just be mostly lighting. And maybe I should stop just hacking away my beard. Is it just lighting? No, there's absolutely... I don't know. He's asymmetrical now. We'll take some off the other side too. Why not? Oh, there we go. I'll just cut in another this way and then even it out. And then it won't look stupid. His head is lifting now because of the weight difference. No, see, that's the problem, is that it's all equally weighted. I think it's like mainly a shadow issue with the lighting. Maybe when I finally get my lighting situation figured out, this won't be a problem anymore. with the new Barina lights. Did in the shop reno. All right. Beer. Why is my show 3 hours now? It's like a typical show. I'm sure Pinnell wouldn't have signed up for this nonsense if he knew what this was going to turn into. He was like, oh yeah, no, hour and a half long show where all I have to do is block bots? Sure. And then it became this over time. I'm not sorry. I am a little bit, but I appreciate all of you guys coming here and hanging out all the time. It really, really helps. Probably not only me. I assume that there are people out there that need this. I do, and I would like to think that it helps somebody somewhere. And that's all that matters. Looking forward to playing around with some of this over the next little while. Looking forward to creating some wooden pendant things over the next little while. Looking forward to getting back into the guitars, hopefully shortly. The hatchet. Refurbishment. The shop stool. Side table project. It feels like nobody's here, and we are going to say goodnight. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe, everybody. We will see you next time. There are plenty of people watching, but nobody's talking. So let's get out of here. Finish the shop stool. You finish the shed. Finish the end table. I'm assuming you're saying finish the end table because it's not shop stool anymore. John, we'll see you next time. Thanks everybody for coming on. We will see you again. Jehan, maybe. If you'd be interested in something else besides woodworking, what would it be? I'm interested in lots of things other than woodworking. I do painting, I do photography, I played a little bit of golf. I enjoy many things other than woodworking. Woodworking isn't my entire life. It's just a fairly substantial part of it. Beard hair in resin bottle stopper. Ooh, we were so close, Shane. Right? No, now he's got going again. We're going to talk about photography. Are you a Nikon or a Canon guy? I can get into photography. I was just actually trying to convince myself to sell my photography stuff because I don't do it often enough, and I could use the money. But I can't convince myself to sell all my camera gear because maybe I'll get back into it one day. First Canon, then switched to Sony. I'm a Nikon guy because that's what I learned on, and It's what I've stuck with over the years. Or a Canon F1. Sad that I sold it. Needed the money for rent, sold all my equipment. Yeah, I get that. That's literally where I'm at right now. I'm like, I have this maybe, I don't know, $3,500 worth of camera gear that I may or may not ever use again. It's just sitting there. Maybe I'll use it. Maybe not. So I should probably just sell it and not have to think about whether or not I'm ever going to use it again. But then I'm going to be like, oh, damn, I wish I had my, yeah. Now a GH5 and record family videos. Done. Yeah. Well, but that's the other thing too. I've got like video recording equipment. And I've got still recording, like my Nikon still stuff. And then I got like a Sony camcorder 4K thing. And I've got my phone, and I don't really need my Nikon, my bag full of Nikon cameras and lenses and stuff. You'd probably get $3,000 for it tomorrow. But all right, later, Eric Habakabaka. We are also trying to shut the show down. But Jihan, if that's not the correct pronunciation, let me know. Kept me going for an extra couple minutes about photography stuff. Daughter needs you. All right. See you later. It's good. I'll take it. All right. Jihan Martinez. But now, that wasn't too bad, was it? In terms of extra time? I'll pay you overtime for it. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe, everybody. Bye for now. We'll see you next week. Again, same time, same place. And next week is rough. I looked at the schedule for next Saturday at work, and it is redunk. So next week might be just like this week in terms of me just sitting here drinking beer. Or I might cancel it altogether. Because next week, like I think we might not even know where everything is gonna happen in the space because of how much stuff is planned for the space. We'll see. As of right now, next week is a go, but don't be surprised if it doesn't happen. All right. Bye for now. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you when I see you. The X is over there now. Stupid YouTube. Like, why just like put the X on the other side? For no reason. Let's innovate.